The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at wrestlingwithjohners.com.
This episode's a little different. Instead of me having wrestling guests and content creators, I mean, I have got a content creator, but other than having wrestling guests and other little bits and bobs, I'm venturing into a different topic now. I've got Mr. Power, also known as Nick.
Yes, sir.
For the best people that don't know you, how would you describe yourself?
I would say I'm a very laid back, chill guy, very active, and I love content, the media, TVs, movies, all that stuff. I'm big into all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives it away in your name, Power. This is what we'll be talking about today. You're a fan of him, and so am I. Where did you first get hooked onto the series?
I want to say back in like 2015, 2016, I got like one of those free like 3-month subscriptions for Stars, and I seen the poster with Omari's face on it, and I was like, what is this? And I just started watching it, and like I was hooked. Like just from there, I started binging, and I haven't looked back, pretty much.
I mean, we are now 9 years from there, and I mean, when it finished the original series, I was kind of disappointed in myself that he died. You know, there's always some theories get thrown about.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how you felt about
that. The ending kind of pissed me off too, just because I didn't mind that he died. I just didn't like the way that it happened. I thought like his son killing him was quite predictable and unheroic. I felt like he could have died in a more heroic way. But I do understand what they want to do with like the spinoffs and stuff. So looking back, it does make sense. But I definitely think he's dead. I don't think he's coming back.
See, I've got to disagree with that. I think there's a lot. I've seen a lot of theories. Floating about and stuff like that, and I reckon money talks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money talks.
I definitely, yeah.
And he said in an interview that Stars asked him to go back. This was like back in the last year or 2023. That would be crazy if he went back. How would you put the scenario if he went back?
I don't know, to be honest. That's why I'm not sure if he will, because I don't know how they can kind of write that in to make sense. Like, it would be cool to see, but I think it would kind of contradict the stories that they're trying to tell now. Like, how do you explain that he was alive the whole time, and where has he been? What has he been doing? So I would love to see him in like a flashback, like in the dream sequence or something for Tariq. That would be cool. Bringing him back as an alive person, I'm not like a huge fan of that, because he's gonna take the spotlight over. He's Ghost, you know, like he's the guy. So it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, definitely. And there's just it starts playing in your head. You know, like how could you bring him back? You know, up to the time jump where it is now, because obviously Tariq's show's just finished. I think Raising Kanan's just been announced for March time.
Yep.
I think we still don't know a date for Force Season 3, because we know that's ending.
Correct.
Power Origins. I think they've got so much in line. I think they're gonna leave the Tommy show until mid to end of 2025. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we even got that show this year, because I know Stars has some other shows they're promoting, like BMF and then P Valley, and then they have some other shows in the network. So with the way that they've been dragging this stuff out, like I'd be surprised if we got Force this year. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, we already know that Tommy's not going to die.
Yeah.
Because I think you've seen that clip as well where he's on set with Tariq, Braden, Jannard, and Diana. Yeah, Diana. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think he'll survive. I think he also made a video when he was on the set of, I think they were filming season 3. He pretty much said, like, he was announcing that it's the final season, and he said something. He was like, my journey in Chicago is over, but it's not the last time you'll see me. So it pretty much confirmed, like, I'm not going to die. You're going to see me again. It's just a matter of, like, what's the next thing? Like, is it going to be a show with Tariq? That's what we're all kind of wondering. What do you think about that?
I think it's going to be a show with Tariq, definitely. Yeah. I think, does he come back to New York or does he go to California?
I don't know. I don't feel like he can come back to New York because of he's dead there, right? So I feel like that wouldn't really make much sense.
He's supposed to be dead, but then obviously you can get done for coming back to life. But if you kill it, whoever kills him eventually can't get done because it's called double jeopardy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I think Tommy eventually he has to go. I feel like they can kind of drag his story a little bit more, but eventually it's like, if Ghost died, I mean, you're going to keep Tommy around? It kind of becomes unrealistic at that point.
Yeah. I think someone who I wish was more in Tariq's show, I think 2-Bit should have been in there a lot more.
I agree. With the whole 2-Bit thing, I heard some rumors. Apparently, him and Courtney Kemp, the writer, creator of Power, apparently they were in some sort of relationship. And then I guess that ended. I'm not sure how much that could have impacted his role on the show or in the series. But we know in the past, Courtney has had issues with Omari and wanted to kill him off. So I wouldn't be surprised if that plays a role. But 2-Bit, I could definitely seeing him being in Tariq's show. Or they could have had him in Force, honestly, with Tommy. I don't know why they ever used him more. I guess money, like you said, money talks. Yeah.
I always thought he was going to show up in Tony's Force.
Yeah, too.
Because I always feel like in shows like that, obviously in Tariq, you had his mum that showed up sometimes, you had Sax. I think it's always good to have some of the OGs from the original Power.
Yep.
Even though there's not many left.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like that's probably the best thing they can do to kind of keep the fan base excited. But I do think there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, whether it's like them having other jobs or the money not being right or scheduling. So I think it's more than just the surface stuff that we see.
I do agree with you on that one. But as we know, Power is one of the, I mean, I don't know for you in the America, but in the UK, on Netflix, when it was on top 10 for weeks. And yeah, the amount of people that was complaining, mentioning it, that was getting good reviews about it, it was just non-stop, like fire. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And I think this man, very underrated.
Yes, sir.
Very underrated.
Very underrated.
I feel like he should have, in my opinion, got what he deserved, because obviously you got Mary J. Blige, who was getting top whack tier money for stars. But then obviously him, who was, as he said, the face of the network. There's no Ghost and there's no Power without him.
Facts. 100%.
I don't know about him, but obviously now he's obviously doing some Netflix stuff. But I hope, like you said, I hope we do see him in a flashback or maybe a comeback.
Yeah, I definitely think he wants to. You could tell in his interviews that he misses the role. He misses like the opportunity to come back. I just feel like business kind of just gets in the way. Like I feel like I think he knows his value now. Like I think now that the show has ended and he sees how much the fans love him, he's like, damn, like I didn't know I was this big. Now he's probably like should have got more money. So I think moving forward, he's like, I'm not taking less than this. And if they're not budging, then I'm not budging.
If you was him, how much would you ask for? Mind him, Mary J. Blige got, I think, I could be wrong, but I think she got $250.
I thought it was 400. an episode.
Oh wow, even better.
Thousands. Yeah, yeah. It depends for real, bro. Like it depends on like how long, how many episodes, how long, what's going to be my role in the whole thing. But I mean, I think minimum he should ask for double what he got before. I think they said he was making the 150 before in the OG power. I got to ask for at least what Mary J got. At least.
Yeah.
At least 400. But I also understand Mary J getting that money because she's a huge global star and she brings in a lot of viewers. So I think people kind of like Omari's he's popular, but he's not Mary J. Blige. He doesn't have the
100%.
same, attraction. But he should definitely ask for at least 300-400. And he might have asked for more because he's the face of power. He's Ghost, like you said. So whatever he asked for, you got to give it to him. And I don't think Stars is willing to do that. Otherwise, he would have been back already.
Yeah. I mean, he's been gone 5 years this year because the original power ended January, I think, 2020.
Yep.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's January 2020. 5 years is a long time. The fans are always asking him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And who would you say that should have not died from the OG power?
Ooh, should have not died. I would say Kanan, man. I would say Kanan. Like Kanan's character.
Too soon, weren't it?
Too soon. Too soon. And it's funny that you asked this because 50 Cent's been doing like these interviews and podcasts and stuff. And he pretty much said that Omari was supposed to be the one. Ghost was supposed to die in season 5, not Kanan. Courtney wanted to kill off Omari because apparently they had some disagreement on set or something. She gave him a note and he like raised on her. And she didn't like that, so she wanted to kill him off. And 50 was like, no. Leave him, take my character. And that's kind of why they killed off Kanan. And then we had a season 6, and then that's when Ghost died. Definitely Kanan, I felt like he just made the show better. Like, he just made it way better. And
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say, because I saw a live TikTok video what Courtney Kemp did. And she said, obviously, Lakeisha, Donovan, and
Proctor?
Proctor. Yeah, Proctor.
And the other, yeah.
I'm not going to say the first term, but obviously Donovan.
Yeah. That was a crazy statement to me. I couldn't believe that she said that. Like,
yeah,
that was the last person I thought that she would say. And it felt like she was avoiding saying Ghost. Because, like, I feel like that's what we were all thinking, like, Ghost. That should have been the first person she said. But you can clearly tell there's some tension there. So I'm not too surprised.
If you're asking me, I don't think no one remembers the Donovan character. Hardly. Do you know what I mean?
They don't.
She said it and I had to Google it. And I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah. I think she was just trying to avoid saying the answer that everyone wanted to hear, and probably shock value as well. She probably knew that we talk about it, and it keeps the show relevant. I think all of this stuff is just part of marketing and how they keep the show alive and everything. It's a ploy. I don't feed too much into it.
Definitely, man. I mean, power. I think it's like the Marvel universe, and it's going to go on forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
11 years now. Where do you think, obviously, Tommy's is ending, Tariq's is ending, they're going to do another one? Do you think it should end after that?
It really just depends what kind of quality of content we're getting, like kind of like Raising Kanan. If it's at that level, keep it going. But don't keep it going to where it gets oversaturated and you're just like spitting off every NA person and then the storytelling gets wavered. I think that's what we all love about Power is the storytelling. And as long as that's on point, I mean, they can keep it going. I mean, if it's lasted 11 years, like not many shows can say that. So I want to see it keep going because, I mean, it's easy content for me. And I know the people who follow me love it as well. So we all have that in common.
Yeah. You got 5 people to pick from, right? So obviously the new show that obviously is going to be Tommy and Tariq, the two main people. You got 4 people you can pick alive still in the Power universe that you can add to that show. Who are you picking?
Obviously, well, you said Tommy already, so definitely have Tariq in there. I would have Kane in there. I would have Braden in there, and I'd have Jannard's character in there because I feel like he just gives you more of an unpredictable, type of energy. And shoot, I mean, to be honest, I think they should just do a kind of a crossover, a mix of the two shows, and whoever's kind of remaining when it's all said and done, I think people would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Obviously, at the end of Tariq's, it had a call. Do you reckon he's going to be in season 3?
Absolutely. There's someone said that it was Kane, and I was like, come on now, like, come on, guys. We know it's Tommy. Who else would he say he's family? And I just think it makes sense now that Tariq's show is done. He has that kind of reuniting with Tommy, and I think Tommy's going to need him because this next season everyone's going to be at his throat. So who better to come help him than his nephew?
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, you mentioned Kane because Kane can fight, but he can't talk. Tariq can talk, but he can't fight. So them two together would be a good dynamic duo, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would love to see that. And like, Tariq is an adult now, so you can have him in more of an adult show. I feel like Power Book 2, I feel like it's an adult show, but it's more for like the younger crowd. And I feel like Forge is more for like the older crowd. So I think him coming over and being in that more violent city, Chicago, I think it'd be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Why do you think he's not got truth yet?
I don't know. I just feel like Tariq hasn't really been involved in the legitimate world like that. If you've noticed, he's not really like Ghost, where Ghost had like the club, laundry mats, cleaning money. Tariq is more like, I'm just in the streets 100%. And I don't think he's really interested in running a club or doing anything of that nature, at least thus far. And I don't know if the club was a part of his trust fund that he lost or whatever. They kind of haven't really made that clear, but I'm not sure he has access.
Well, that's a good question, but yeah. I'm sure we'll raise that. So we've talked about 15 minutes of power, but you all known as Mr. Power. I mean, when did you start notice you were becoming like an internet sensation, should we call it?
Bro,
92K is a lot, man.
You said what?
92K is a lot.
Yeah, it is. If I'm being honest with you, I still don't feel like one because I feel like I'm doing something that I was already doing without the camera. Like, me and my friends would always talk about power and have debates and stuff. And then I just started making the videos, and I started to notice when I went to the Power Book Ghost premiere. I think it was back in June of last year. I went to that premiere, bro, and I gained like 28,000 followers in like a span of a couple of days. And I was already like 20,000. Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? Because I was at the premiere, I was on the red carpet, so I was like taking videos of like the guests and stuff. Tommy was there, Tariq. And I guess that kind of made me just go crazy viral. And then since then, like, I've just been growing, and 90,000 is crazy. It don't even feel real. I'm just like, 90,000 people really care what I have to say. Like, that's insane to me. I still don't feel like an internet sensation. I just feel like a regular dude talking about power.
What would you say is that people attract and like want more of you?
I'm sorry, what did you say? Can you repeat that?
What would you say it is that people love your videos and like they want more of you and keep supporting you?
That's a good question. I think I'm just authentic. Like, I'm just myself, and I'm always going to give my raw, authentic opinion. You know what I mean? Because no one's paying me or sponsoring me. So every opinion that you hear is mine. And I just don't hold back. I'm just myself. I say what I think, what I want to say. And I don't try to sugarcoat anything because I know my followers want it. They want it raw. They want it real.
Definitely. You mentioned obviously about sponsors and stuff like that, and being paid and stuff like that. There was a video you put out, I want to say last week, about stars,
Yes.
and you said you're not going to really be posting much power stuff no more on your Mr. Power page.
Yeah.
Do you want to, if you want, you can explain that, because I only got the glimpse of it.
Yeah. So I want to say it was about a month ago. Stars had reached out to me on TikTok. They reached out to me a couple of times, like saying they like my content. They had sent me like a chessboard and like a signed autograph. So like, we was cool. And then they did me like a month ago saying that they wanted me to do a promotion campaign for Raising Canaan, to like promote the trailer and just like hype it up and stuff. And we had like had a verbal agreement on paper. I was waiting for like the contracts to come through, signed to kind of solidify. And obviously we know, things were up in the air with the TikTok ban. And they pretty much said that they were falling back because of the uncertainty with TikTok and everything. So I'm like, why would I keep promoting Raising Canaan content when they've now rescinded the offer? That's what they would want, right? You know what I mean? They would want me to keep promoting the show for free. And I just feel like I have a platform to the point where like I just can't do that. Like I can't just use my platform to promote their show. And I'm still gonna be doing power content. I'm just not going to participate in the hype following up to Raising Canaan. Once the show actually comes out, then like I'll do my recaps and reviews and everything like that. But I'm not gonna promote the show, the trailer. Like they gotta pay me, man. They gotta give me a bag.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
there's a famous line that you said. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's it. And
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna start using that one.
Yeah, it's crazy because when it reached out to me, I had like maybe 80,000, 83,000. So like I've grown a good like 10,000 since they reached out to me. So like I know how big my platform is and I know how like serious my followers take the content. So I just couldn't let that slide.
And it's not just obviously you've got 92 points. How many you got? No, bang on 92. Right,
Yeah.
but you're growing rapidly. You've got over 2,100 nearly on Instagram.
Yep.
You've got 1.4, I'll say, on YouTube.
Yep.
So
Research.
your platforms, yeah, I do
Yeah.
it. Do you know what I mean? You've got to do it, and the platforms that you've got, not just TikTok's obviously your main one, but obviously Instagram's popular as well. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I can't believe they plugged it back.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really surprised because these things happen in business and deals, so I don't really take it personal. I was just annoyed that like they reached out to me just to pull back because I didn't reach out to them. They came to me. So I found it strange that they would rescind the offer that they made. And I think when it comes to the power stuff, like I'm one of the most known people when it comes to the power content. So to let me go, I'm like, well, damn, like there's got to be something behind the scenes. So, it is what it is. It's business.
It is. So if they came back now, what would you want? An apology?
I would definitely want an apology and more money. Like I said, yesterday's price is not today's price. And I would just want them to acknowledge why they backed off in the first place. Because the reason they gave me with the whole TikTok stuff, it didn't feel genuine. I can tell when someone's not being genuine. So definitely an explanation and an apology and a nice little bag. And then we can move forward.
Yeah, because obviously Omari Hardwick, like you mentioned, of 150, you're like 58 less, but obviously you got the followers. So TikTok is one of the biggest platforms in the world. Everybody scrolls it. I see your content all the time.
Yeah.
Even some of your old videos pop up. So
Yeah.
people do see you, and it's
Yeah, a lot. And it's Like people see me that I don't even really know. Like sometimes people will tell me, like, whether it's people that are like are in my area will be like, "Oh, I seen your videos." I'm like, I didn't even know you see my content. Because I'm at the point now where I'm not really trying to get views. I just do it because it's fun. It's not about money. It's not about followers. It's like I just like power, and so do the people who rock with me. So why not keep it going? Once it starts feeling like a job, that's when I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But I'm still having fun doing it, so I'm gonna keep it going, keep growing.
Yeah, awesome. So
Yeah.
obviously you mentioned some of you people you know see you or someone near you and stuff like that. I'm 5 hours ahead of you, and I'm in the UK, and I see you. So that must feel good. Someone in another country seeing you.
It does, bro. It's you know what's crazy? A lot of my followers are actually in the UK. Like a lot of the people who watch my content are in the UK, and like I was very surprised by this when I was looking at my analytics. I was like 40% of them are in the UK. And I didn't really know how big power was in the UK. I didn't even know how big power was to the world because I'm like in my own bubble. I kind of stay to myself. I didn't know everybody else loved power so much till I got on TikTok. Then I'm like, damn, people in the UK watch it, like people in Africa, like everywhere. So it's crazy when people tell me, "Oh, I'm in this country and I watch your content." I'm like, wow, like it's the most humbling thing.
I mean, obviously, I'm like I said to you before we went on. I'm a huge fan of your work, and it's not just
Appreciate
obviously clips. You talk about it, you give your opinion, and sometimes I think, shit, his opinion is actually valid. Do you know what I mean?
it. Yeah,
Proctor, say for example, Proctor shouldn't have been killed, or Proctor's better than Davis. This, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? I
yes, sir.
listen to what you say, and I think, fuck, do you know what? It's actually right.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
That's my goal. Like, I don't even want people to necessarily agree with what I say, but just to have another thought, like, oh, this is another idea. Maybe he is right. Like, maybe he does have a point. 'Cause it's power. We all have our own theories. We're not always going to agree. Most of the time, we're not going to agree. And a lot of times when I make certain statements, people are like, oh, you're tripping. You're crazy. I'm like, bro, this is my opinion. Like, I made a video saying that I think that, Tariq eventually got to die in the next spinoff, and they're like, "Oh, you hating on Michael Rainey? You hating on the actor?" I'm like, I love Michael Rainey. He's great, but I think that the story has to come to an end at some point, which is just like an opinion. I don't feel any type of way about his character or him. It's never personal.
definitely.
Yeah.
And how do you, as one, oh, I'm not going to say one creator to another, but obviously you're a bit bigger than me, but how do you even, I see your work, like for your YouTube videos and TikTok videos, like obviously you in the green screen, the way you edit them, I've seen your podcast that you did and stuff like that.
Mhm.
How, is it a lot of money that you've invested in equipment, or how do you record and stuff like that?
Bro, I haven't invested a dime. You know what's crazy? Everything is done from my phone. Like
Wow.
yeah, bro. Everything is done from I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Everything is done from my phone. Like I do my editing on TikTok or like CapCut. Obviously, I use the green screens, like you said. And I just make sure I get good lighting. If you notice, like a lot of my videos recently, they have it's just higher quality, better look. But like I haven't gotten a camera. I don't have a mic. I don't have any of the typical content creator setups because I've learned that like you just don't need all that stuff. Like if you're genuine and like you make good videos and like, you're relatable, people are gonna watch regardless. So eventually I'm gonna get that stuff and like upgrade for that. But for now I'm like, why? The more authentic you are, the better it is.
Literally. And I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
surprised that I only use my phone?
like, gobsmacked.
Yeah, for real? Why is that?
Because obviously, it's like obviously with me, I'm using this, and I'll give you an example. I pop up pictures. I
Hmm.
do this, I do that. For my videos, I edit a little bit. I do it from my phone. I'm recording now from my phone.
Hmm.
So sometimes I've used a computer, but if you're asking me to do fancy thumbnails or fancy this or fancy that, I can't do jack shit.
I think it's all in like doing the research. For me
I've
personally,
tried.
like, yeah, yeah. you gotta be obsessive about it. And that's kind of one thing that I think people will see when they see my platform is like I was obsessive. Like when I first started my page, my TikTok page, because I had a page before this one that had gotten banned, right? I had hit like 10,000 followers in 2 months. 2 months. They banned me on like the day that I became eligible for monetization, bro. Like the day of. This was like back in like early March. So I stopped making content for like 2 weeks. And like one of my followers was like DMing me saying, bro, like, we love your content. Like, make another page. Just do it one more time. And I was like, nah, like, it's just too much work. I don't want to do it again. And then one of my friends was like, bro, just do it. Like, you have nothing to lose. Just do it again. And I did it again, and my page blew up like even faster. I hit up 10K in like a month and a half. And then I was at like 50K in like 3 months. And then I was at the power premiere a couple months later. And I'm like, oh shit, like maybe I'm supposed to be doing this. Like it's all kind of coming together. So I said, yeah, it's just about like being passionate. Like now that I'm also on YouTube and stuff, that's my main goal is to blow up on there. And it's I know it's a grind, bro. Like
Yeah.
it is a grind. But I've been studying guys like Mr. Beast, like other big YouTubers, studying the thumbnails. Like I just study. Like I love it, so it's easy for me to go and kind of do the research now.
I have just monetized on YouTube, literally
Really?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Hey, congrats, bro. That's big time. That's
It
big.
is, but obviously for me, obviously I'm do like I said, wrestling videos and stuff like that. It depends the guests that you have on. If you
Yeah.
have a big guest and people want to
What?
watch them and follow him, you blow up. If I have a local wrestler that no one knows, it's not going to go. I'll blow up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's timing. So yeah, just like a
I
little
think
thing
another
to
thing
the
is
side.
like, yeah, I think another thing you got to realize is you're the face of your content. I think the guests are important, but at the end of the day, like they're tuning in to see you. They're tuning in to see who you are going to speak to. So I think once you kind of realize that, you're like, oh, well, they're coming to see me. You just got to be consistent. Like, I'm trying to make at least a YouTube video like every day now. I try not to force it and like make gimmicky topics. If I don't have anything to talk about, I won't make a video. But I'm just trying to be consistent because at the end of the day, they follow you for you. The guests are cool, but like they're just guests. And I try not to rely too much on that because it's not always going to be like that where you're able to get certain people.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, like I said, I follow you, Movie Ball, obviously his thumbnails. I
Yeah,
think
he's
for
great at
me,
those, bro. He's the best when it comes to the
definitely,
thumbnails. Yeah, he's the best.
because I look at his and I think for me, when I'm looking at a YouTube video, the thumbnail's got to catch your attention.
Facts. Yep.
Thumbnail and then the title.
Hmm.
And then if not, and then because obviously as a man, the first, I mean, you'll know as well, the first like 30 seconds for a men, we need to be engaged. If not, we lose concentration.
Yep.
I don't know if that's like it with you, but I need to, if I'm not hooked within 30 seconds, gone.
Yeah. I think within the first like 10 to 15 seconds, honestly, like if I don't like clickbait, what I will say, right? Like I want you, if I see a title and a thumbnail, I hope that that's what we're going to get in the video. And if there's some indication that like that's what we're going to get, then like you got me in. And if I'm already a fan of whatever the topic is, I'm more likely to keep watching, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you
Yeah.
mean there. You mentioned obviously you got an autograph from Stars. Who was it from?
Bro, I think it was from the whole cast. It was like a bunch of signatures, and it was like a poster from Power Book 2 Ghost. And then they gave me like a chessboard that had the Power Book 2 Ghost logo on it. So that was really dope.
What's the biggest opportunity you'd say you've had since obviously getting to 92,000 followers?
I would say interviewing one of the Power Cast people. I had Sam Manuel Ramirez, who played Miguel on Power Book Force. He was on one of my podcasts, and I think that's one of my biggest episodes, if not my biggest episode right now. And that was surreal because one of my followers sent me his TikTok page. And he was like, bro, you should DM him and get him on your podcast. I was like, he's never going to respond to me. Like, he's never going to respond. And I DM'd him and he answered in like 30 minutes. And I was like, yo, bro, I love you on the show. I love you to have you on my pod. And we set something up for like the next week. And I had a podcast. I was on with him for like an hour and a half. And we talked about everything from power to life to business to contracts to acting. Like, he gave all the beans. Like, I learned so much. So that was definitely the dopest opportunity and great relationship to build there.
I mean, that's unreal, man.
Yeah.
Genuine.
So real.
How long would you say you've actually been doing it then? Well, obviously, I know you've been a fan of power since 2016, but how long?
Yeah.
Obviously, is it last March? You've got
Yeah.
the Mr. Power. So not even a year yet.
Not even. Bro, that's the crazy thing. Like, it hasn't been that long, but I feel like it's been a minute. And that's why I'm like when I tell people how long I've been doing the content, they think that I'm lying. I'm like, bro, I've only been doing this for like 10 months, almost 11 months. So to grow this fast, and it's crazy because I always thought like power would play some type of role in my life. Like I was like, I spend too much time watching and thinking about this show. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be involved with it somehow. I never thought it would be making content. Like that's the real surreal part. Because I used to watch guys like MovieBot and Mark Dark, and to be doing what they're doing now, I'm like, oh, like I'm doing what I want to be doing. So I love it. This shit is it's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
So obviously we're in 2025 now. What is the aim for 2025?
The goal for 2025 is to just keep growing. I'm trying to hit 100,000 by March. So that's the number one goal
It'll
by
happen.
now. Yeah, I'm working hard for that, and I really want to go to the Raising Canaan premiere if they have one. That's the goal. I don't know if they're gonna have one or not. I want to be there with the cast, kind of meet them, and I just want to just grow even more than last year, expand, do other stuff. Obviously, power is great, but life isn't just power. There's other shows, other stuff, and I have like 3 other TikTok pages where like I make completely different content. So if I can monetize those 3, then I'll consider myself like an internet sensation. If I can
would
be,
class you as.
yeah, if I can be successful in different types of content, that would be me. Like then I would feel validated. So that's definitely a goal.
So you've got obviously the power one, you've got the basketball one.
Yeah.
And you've got a motivational one. Is that right?
Yeah. And I got a clips one too.
So where did the motivational one come from?
To be honest, that's what I always wanted to do anyway. You know what I mean? Like that was always the one that I wanted to do, but I just never thought about doing it. I just never kind of put it into action. But someone had told me like, oh, you should make a page with your podcast clips. So I started the Mr. Power Clips page. And then I was like, well, I want to make other content. Like I want to talk about sports and everything. And then I just want to give my thoughts out and just like talk about whatever I want to talk about. And then came the Mr. Wisdom. To be honest, I like that page. That's my favorite content to do, like more than the power, more than anything else. The Mr. Wisdom one is like my favorite because anyone can relate to what I'm saying because we're all humans. Whereas power kind of boxes me into a sense because not everyone watches power. But the Mr. Wisdom, that page is where I want that to go to like 1 million. That's my one of my main focuses.
What's that one on at the moment?
Huh?
What's that one on at the moment?
I think it's like 400 something, like 400 followers. But it's been like growing lately. Like my last couple of videos been like going viral. So I think within a year I can definitely get to like 10,000. I just got to keep pumping out, copy the same formula, like just put out the content. And I don't really worry about the results, to be honest. Like I'm at the point where like I don't care if I get 1,000 views, 1 million views. It's no different for me. Like I'm just so worried about the process and like just doing the work because I know in the long run that's where the success will come.
Yeah, I'm only asking about the Mr. Wisdom one and the motivational one is because obviously in this world it can be very negative.
Facts.
So obviously the wisdom and stuff that you say and the motivational and stuff like that, it's like you said, it can relate to everyone. So I like that you do that as well as power.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that page is very important because I know how negative the world can be, like you said, and sometimes you
Yeah,
just want to get on the internet and just see something positive. Like it's when you get on the internet, it's either something trendy or this person did this or this person did that. But with my content, like whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whatever how you identify yourself, like you can take something away from what I'm saying. And I think it's a good way to build a community too, because there's no boxing in. Everyone needs some type of motivation. We all need it because life is rough.
trust me,
Yeah.
definitely. Even
Mhm.
in the UK.
Yeah. I heard about the stabbings out there, man. Y'all are different.
We have the stabbings, you have the guns.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like obviously we just mentioned, obviously the world's pretty much fucked. So what I always ask at the end of my episodes is an inspirational message from everyone. So when we do finish this, get ready for your motivational wisdom.
Okay. I got you.
So I mean, obviously we've talked about power, we talked about podcasts, obviously your YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Yep.
What else is there that people don't know about Nick?
I'm big into like fitness, big into working out, the gym, stuff like that. Love playing basketball. I'm just a regular person. I think people see me as Mr. Power, so they think that like my whole life revolves around power, but they don't understand like that's a very small aspect of my life and like what you see. I spend more of my time in the real world than the internet. So I'm just like when I'm not when I'm not on the internet, like I'm working. Like even when I get off this podcast with you, like I'm gonna go back to working on content and working on my YouTube. Like you really get what you see. Like I'm always working. Like all my free time that's not devoted to my job and career is devoted to content. So that's probably what they should know. Like if they're trying to do the same thing, like it's not overnight. It may seem like it happened overnight, but I was posting 10, 15 times a day for like 5 months before I started really just taking off.
It's mad.
Yeah.
Really mad.
It's like, bro, it's crazy, bro. I'm not even if you go to my Mr. Power page, I have a playlist with like my power clips. There's at least like 400 clips in that playlist from like the shows. And that was like the majority of my content for the first couple months. So just from that, I think I have like 1.3K videos already made. Even if you go on my YouTube, I have like 1.2K videos in under a year. Most
Jesus.
pages like have that from like 5, 6, 7 years. Like I'm not playing because I know every day is an opportunity for someone to see your face, and you never know who might see your content and like take a liking to you and want to give you an opportunity.
I agree with you more. What video would you say that it was that got you noticed?
I think I did a video. They got me like, what do you mean got me noticed? They really just like took
Like
off
viral.
viral. It was a clip from the OG Power. It was a scene. I don't know if you remember when Kendrick Lamar did the guest star, and it was like a scene between him and Kanan.
Okay.
Yeah, and that video got like 1.2 million views. And then yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. Like I didn't even know. Cause like when I post, I get off. I don't really scroll like that. Most of the time, if I'm on social media, I'm watching my own content to like revise and see what I can do better, or watching like my friends or people that I respect or I follow. So I got back on after like a few hours. It was at like 300,000, bro. And I'm like, yo. So that's when I was like, okay, like it's possible to go viral on TikTok. Now I just got to keep it going. So that was all the motivation I needed.
But what was it about the clip that got you viral? Like, what did you do?
Because I think at the time Kendrick Lamar and Drake, I don't know if you remember, they had this beef going on, this rap beef. So I posted a video and I was like, I said something about Kendrick, like Kendrick's taking all types of wins right now. And I guess because of the hype that Kendrick had at the time and the fact that he was on Power and people probably didn't remember it, I guess the video just took off. And I guess people didn't know that he could act too. So I think that played a part in it. Like, I think it was just timing for real. I think if I posted that video a month later, I don't think it would have gotten the same reaction.
Right place at the right time.
Yeah. Good timing.
Yeah. Have you had any more viral videos ever since, or is that like your most notable one?
I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot. Like, I've had a couple, at least like 10, 1 million plus videos. I think my biggest one, yeah, bro, I've had a lot, and a lot that are like in the six figures. I think my biggest one is like 4.1 million, and it was at the Power Book 2 Ghost premiere.
Wow.
It was me. I was at the red carpet, and I was behind the gate, and Joseph Sikora, who played Tommy, was pulling up. He came out of the car, and I got him right when he came out the car, and I was like, Tommy, Tommy. And that video went crazy. Like, just from that video alone, I gained like 26,000 followers. From bro, just at that quick, bro. And I was like, what the hell? And like, I had done a couple other videos, like Naturi, who played Tasha. I did a video on her. Like, I got a bunch of the cast. All those videos got 100K plus. So like, just from that one day of the premiere, I gained like almost 30K followers that by that next week. And I think that kind of gave me the opportunity to start doing my own content and not just do the clips or record people. And I kept them locked in, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did you get invited to the premiere, or did you buy a ticket?
Nah, I didn't. So because it was, I think they were doing like this 10-year anniversary thing, because obviously it's been 10 years or whatever. And they pretty much they were giving free tickets, so it was like first come, first serve. And I have my own like group chat with a bunch of my followers, right? So someone sent me the link. I kid you not. As soon as the link to the tickets dropped, they sent me a message personally and it's like, here, go get the tickets. Before they even got the tickets. Like, crazy. They thought of me first. So I go in, I get the link, I get 2 tickets, and it's like, oh, it's in New York. I'm like 3.5 hours from New York. I'm pulling up. Like, so I got the tickets, like I booked a hotel and I drove down there. Me and one of my best friends went, and it was just surreal. Like, to go from making Power content to being at the premiere, I was like, there's no way this is like a coincidence. This has to be God or some other like being doing this. So yeah, man, I credit my followers to that. Like, if they hadn't sent me that link, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to get those tickets.
That's crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Who was the favorite that you spoke to that day?
Bro, I didn't even get to really interact with them like that. Like, because there were so many people trying to do the same thing and like interview them. So like, I got most of them from afar. But I was close up when Joseph Sikora, who plays Tommy, was getting interviewed, and he was kind of talking about for season 3 and how it's going to be crazy and lit. So I think that was the closest I got to like interaction. But everyone else was kind of just walking through. Mary J. Blige came. I saw 50 Cent. I saw people that I never thought I would ever see in my life. Like, when I saw 50, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, that's someone that I admire and look up to, like, and how he moves. So I was like, whoa, like, no way this is happening right now.
Mad. Really
Crazy.
mad.
I still think about it to this day.
Maybe go to the Force one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that I can get other opportunities to do stuff like that. But who knows? As far as the way, our last relationship ended, I don't know. But The Raising Cane is coming up, so I really hope they're doing something for that. I'll get on the flight. I'll do whatever. I will be there if they allow me.
That would be good.
Yeah,
That would be
good.
good.
Yeah, especially for my followers because I know they like that type of content.
If you could go and sit down with Tariq and Braden on their podcast, would you do it?
Absolutely. No question. Now, someone asked me that before, and I was like, that'd be a dream come true, bro. Because, like, I know a lot about the show, so I feel like I'd be a great person to, like, have a discussion with. And, you know, I'm a fan of their work, obviously. And I think that would make my platform just, like, that would take me to another level, especially my YouTube that I'm trying to grow. That'd be insane. But they haven't done an episode in like over a year. I don't know what's going on with their podcast. I've reached out to some of the cast members to try to like get them on mine, you know what I'm saying, do some type of work. The only person that ever responded was Miguel, so we'll see.
Has anyone ever seen it? Like, has anyone ever seen that reply?
No, they've all seen them. They see, yeah. The only person who didn't open my message was Michael Rainey. And what's weird is Gianni Palo, the dude who plays Braden, right? Like 2 months before the premiere, I had a TikTok live, and he came in my live, and he was like, "I'm a fan of your content, yeah," and he followed me. And then like a month or two ago, he unfollowed me like out of nowhere for no reason. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I don't know. Maybe he was mad about how I was talking about his character or whatever. But yeah, so like they know of me. They know who I am. But I guess it's maybe business marketing. Maybe they got agents and stuff you got to go through to get them on the pod and stuff. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm always down to collaborate and work with people. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they follow you on TikTok or Instagram?
Yeah. I think stars for the actual power stars, they followed me on Instagram. But it was Yanni who followed me on TikTok and then unfollowed me recently. So I don't know why. But I know Miguel follows me on Instagram, and I know the Power Stars Instagram page follows me. So they know what's going on. They know the content is here.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
So you mentioned obviously you're down to collab with anyone. Has it got to fit right for you?
It does. It does. It has to make sense. But also like I like to kind of like with you, like I like to venture out into different things. Obviously, like you said, you do the WWE content, I do the power content. But it's like I think when you cross worlds with other people, you can gain fan bases. You know, like you might get some people from my fan base from this video, and I might get people from yours. So that's always cool. Yeah, yeah.
You could help me.
Yeah,
you could help me.
Yeah, I got you. Once you upload it, just send me the link. I got you.
Appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
So obviously we've got Force season 3 coming out. What can you expect? What can you see happening?
Things closing in on Tommy for sure. I think everyone will kind of be against him. If you kind of remember kind of in Power season 6 in the final season, how everyone was kind of against Ghost and it was kind of Ghost versus everybody. I think it'll be similar. And I think Tommy will get ran out of Chicago, and that'll kind of set up for him to go somewhere else. Like we said, maybe with Tariq or, maybe back to New York, California. And I just think he has a lot of enemies. And there was a rumor reporting that Elisa Marie Proctor will be in this season of Force. I don't know if you remember her, Proctor's daughter, who got
very young at the time.
Yeah. So I think that'd be great if they brought her back. I'm looking forward to that, and I think it'll be great. And I think that'll be the last show left other than Raising Kanan, right? So I think after that show airs, they'll probably give us some news on like what the next phase is, because I know they have some other stuff working in the background. I know it. Like they're not gonna tell us, but there's definitely stuff cooking because they're making way too much money off this stuff. There's no way it's just gonna end just like that. There's definitely more content on the way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So obviously 3 predictions for Force. I know you said it's coming down on Tommy, but what's 3 predictions that you're going to have?
I do think Elisa Marie will pop up. I'm confident, and I think he left a kind of planted a seed for that back in the OG Power, telling her that she should come see him one day. I do think Tariq will pop up because that just makes sense. Like that's the smartest thing to do in terms of viewership and getting that shock value. And I think Claudia's still alive. I don't think she's dead. I feel like she's still alive. I think she'll pop back up. And yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously, what is some life lessons that you've learned along the way, content creator?
Life lessons. Ooh. I would say like the number one thing is just discipline, bro. Like it doesn't matter what the results are, the views, the money, like none of that stuff matters. If you're doing what you love, you're going to keep doing it and you're going to be disciplined and eventually you'll reap the benefits, Like I've had little wins here and there that have just kind of kept me going. But I just realized like it's just about doing the work. Like that's it. Like I don't care if I have 92,000 or 200,000. My approach is still the same. I'm still going to post every day. I'm still going to try to make compelling content. I'm still going to do the work. Like you can't get comfortable. And with social media, it's so competitive because there's so many creators. You can't really take a day off. Like you just can't, because if you take a day off, someone else is producing content that could overtake yours. So you got to be locked in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a bit of advice now. How would I go viral?
How would you
Apart
go
from obviously viral?
go about going viral? Here's what I want to say about going viral. I think chasing going viral is the wrong idea, because when you do go viral, it's like a dopamine rush. You're like, oh shit, like I'm viral, but it's hard to kind of maintain that. Like no one's gonna go viral every video every time. Like unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're not going viral, every video. But I think the main thing is just to be consistent and like give the viewers what they want. You know what I mean? But also keep your spin on it and stay true to like what you want to do. And I would recommend you get on TikTok immediately. If you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok. If you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram and just repurpose your content everywhere. So obviously you have your long form podcast like this one on YouTube. Just clip it up and make a podcast clips page with these clips. Do that. And then, what I'm saying, you could have another page where you just react to like WWE stuff on your own. You know what I mean? Like in real time, do lives, like I think one of the main things I learned is like people just when they follow us, they're intrigued with us and our lives. So they want to see more of us. So I think the more you give of yourself to people within certain lines, obviously, the better it'll be. Like just put your face out there more. Like for me, it was hard, bro, because I'm not a social media person. And it was hard for me to like put my face out there. I wanted to be kind of mysterious, like a movie bot type of thing. But once I started showing my face, that's when I started going viral, like really getting views and like, because people, when you show your face, they feel like they know you, I guess, and they feel like they can connect to you. So just keep putting it out, like get everywhere, every platform, and just repurpose it. Post, 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 and treat it like it's a career.
Definitely. So obviously, Nick, Mr. Powell, whatever you want to go by today.
Yes, sir.
I have loved chatting for you for the last hour, but it's getting late in the evening.
Same, bro.
How would you like to end it for an inspirational message? What is yours, my friend?
Man, I would say whatever you think you want to do it, bro, and start it now, because you never know what it could snowball into, and you never know who's watching who might be inspired by what you're doing. I've gotten DMs from people that have said that their content has changed the way that they think and the way that they see life and stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm just making videos on my phone. Like, I didn't think it was that serious. So you never know who you're impacting, and do what you love. Because when you do what you love, it's easy to keep doing it. When you're faking it and doing stuff that you're not really passionate about, your viewers will know. They'll see it. They'll see right through the BS. So just stick to your passions.
Definitely, man. Thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate your time.
No problem, bro. I appreciate
Loved it.
that. Yes, sir. Me too.
Definitely have you on again, man.
Yes, sir.